All right, Shalom. Shalom, Israel. With the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. We are not affiliated. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group nor any other Christian organization. So tonight's class is the Hebrew class, the Hebrew Lashawan Qadash class. All right, learning the language, the Hebrew language is something very, very important. It's something that every Black, Hispanic, and Native American needs to know. Like if you are coming into the truth and you are finally finding out that you are God's chosen people and you are an Israelite or you are a Jew, you need to learn this language. Like you can't be out here considering yourself and calling yourself a Jew or some Israelite and you don't even know how to speak the Hebrew. Like that's something so important. Like this is the part of our culture. Like this is the part of our customs. This is a part of our traditions that the Lord allowed us to have. You understand? Like we are the people on the earth that held on to the original language that God spoke, the angel spoke, the priest and prophet, the Lord spoke, Christ spoke, you name it. We held on to this language. And so we're going to be in tonight's class, we're going to focus on we're going to talk about a little bit of grammar. Salakia. We're going to focus on a little bit of grammar, and then we're going to get into the present tense as well. Now, grammar is something very important. Now, what I mean by grammar, I'm gonna teach you like just a few rules, just a few rules when it comes to using like adjectives and also like small words that are attached to words. All right, I'm gonna get into all of that, like the grammar. All right, we want to actually know how to grammatically structure sentences as well. Like there is a proper way to grammatically structure a sentence, just like in the English and Spanish and French and Creole, Patois, whatever the case, whatever language you speak, there is a way to grammatically structure a sentence properly. You just don't want to not know how to grammatically structure a sentence within the Hebrew. Don't think that this is something that's not important to learn. I know a lot of people may not want to be. It's like sometimes we have a stigma as a people that we don't want to learn. Like, people see this as being boring. Grammar is boring. And I understand, but we have to know it in order to speak the language properly. Now, remember, this is something. Here's the reason why. This is our language, meaning this is eventually and will be passed down to your children, and then to your children's children, and your children's children. Like, remember, this is our culture. This is our heritage. This is who we are. All right? So keep that in mind. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is get the alphabet on the board. All right. That's the first thing we're going to do. I'm a fighter. Thank you. Bye. Sheesh. I'm skipping way ahead. Oh, man. All right. All right. So here we go. This is what the alphabet would look like. All right. This is what the Lashawan Qadash alphabet looks like. So the first letter you have is your I. All right. This is your I. Let me make that a little more clear. Y'all can probably see that line a little bit thicker now. So this is what your I looks like. All right. This is your I. This is your Ba. This is your Ga. This is your Da. This is your Ha. This is your Wa. This is your Za. This is your Cha. This is your Ta. This is your Ya. All right. This is your Ka. This is your La. This is your Ma. This is your Na. This is your Sa. This is your I. This is your Pa. This is your Taza, your Kwa, your Ra, your Sha, and your Tha. All right. And so our language has a very constant sound to it, right? It's a very familiar constant sound. All the letters will have a similar sound to it, but the letter I. That's because the letter I literally comes from your eyes. Like this is where we get it from. At one point in time, our language was very pictographic. Not really, but it was once pictographic. And so a pictographic language meaning you have pictures, all right, that means which is a letter. Instead of a character or a letter that we have now is a symbol, which would be a picture. Like if you, as an example, like the hieroglyphics on the walls over there in Egypt on the pyramids and all this type of stuff. Something like that, very similar to that. Most languages in ancient times were once pictographic. Then eventually from those very pictures, all right, and images and things that you see, that's eventually where letters came from and characters came from on what we're looking at now. So this is what our alphabet looks like. It has a very constant sound. Ya ah, ya ba, ya ga, da, wa, ha, za. All right, cha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, ai, pa, ta, za, kwa, ra, sha, za. All right, that's what our language sounds like. Make sure you put this into your notes. All right, this is the Paleo script. This is what the Paleo Hebrew looks like. All right, your Paleo script. Hey, select your soldiers. Sit up, sit down, Babu Kusha. All right, take a seat, Babu Kusha. All right. There's something so make sure y'all pay very close attention to this right here. All right. So this is what the alphabet looks like. If you guys have any questions too as well, throughout the class, just let me know. Right? Put it into your live chat. Put it into the live chat, and we'll definitely get to your questions. All right. Don't forget to sign in and check in with your name, city, and state. All right. Do not forget to sign in and check in with name, city, and state so you can get attendance for class. Okay. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our classes. All right, to our channel. Don't forget that. Don't want to forget that at all. Share this to your family, your friends, all of that. All right, here we go. Okay, so now we're going to get into the lesson. We're going to get into the grammar lesson. All right. So grammar, knowing grammar is something important. It will help you read and understand the Hebrew a lot more. Okay. And you also want to know grammar when it comes to structuring sentences. Like that's the point of the present tense. The point of the present tense is to help us structure sentences. All right. To structure sentences is something very important in the Hebrew. The more you're able to structure sentences and form sentences, the more fluent you will become, and the more this language will become second nature, as if this is your actual language. Like you want the Hebrew to be your actual language. Like don't allow English to be your main language. All right, you want to damn near be bilingual. You want to tell people, hey, listen, I'm bilingual. You understand? I know how to speak more than one language. You know what I'm saying? I know how to speak English, Hebrew. All right. Oh, you know how to speak Hebrew? Like all that type of stuff. Like you want to really get good with it. All right. You want to get as best as you can with it because, you know, generation after generation, this is what's going to be taught to our children. This is what's going to build up families. This is what this is going to be about. All right. To learn your language, to learn the actual language of your forefathers, and to learn the language of your ancestors, to learn the language of your people. Not the English, not the French, not the British, not the Spanish, the Spaniards, etc., etc. You are actually learning the language of Black people and the Latinos and the Native Americans, which were the Israelites according to the Bible and historic records. You understand? And this is our language. This is our culture. This is our traditions. You understand? This is a part of our customs that the Lord passed down to us. You understand? So we're going to get into the grammar. All right. We're going to get into the grammar. All right. Of the Hebrew. Okay. So I'm going to get a few things on the board. Right. So now what you want to know is, let's say we're going to break down. Let's get ba, ha. Okay. Then sham. So now, okay. So remember, this is your ma. This is your sha. And this is your ma. Okay. So this is your sha. This is your ma. All right. When you put that together, right, you get shama. You get sham. All right. You put it together, you get sham. All right. Which equals name in the Hebrew. All right. So you have sham. Sham means name in the Hebrew. Okay. So now I want y'all to pay very close attention to this, because this is where the grammar comes into play. All right. Don't forget to put your name, city, and state. All right. Do not forget to do that. So now this is where grammar comes into play, right? So let's say you're reading the Bible. Okay, you're reading the Bible, you're reading the scriptures, and you hear someone say Bahashem, right? Now we say this all the time, right? Especially brothers in the school, when we salute each other, we say Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatha, or we say Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatha, right? We speak this language. We speak the Hebrew, right? So when we say Bahashem, right? Bahashem, right? Or Bahashem, Salaki, right? So Bahashem, this Sham right here, this Sham means name. This is what it is, right? So now, what does this ba and ha mean? So this is grammatical right here. Okay, meaning, all right, you see how it's right next to the word? Here we go. You have your ba, right? This is what your ba looks like. All right, this is your ba. Your ba, all right. Your ba equals in. Then you have your ha. This is your ha right here, which equals the. All right, which equals the. So your ba equals the word in. All right, while your ha equals the word the. So when it says Bahasham, is saying in the name. So Bahasham is saying in the name. So why is this part of grammar? Well, I'm gonna explain why it's a part of grammar. So like, let's not let my marker dry out. This is a part of grammar because here's why. Even though ba is its own word, right, which means in, and even though ha it's its own word, which is the, these things will never be separated from actual words. All right, this is just an example. So you have Bahasham. So your ba and your ha would never be separated from any word that is being used in conjunction with. All right, so these are just, there's plenty of words like that that you will never use. All right, you'll never have it by itself. They will always be attached to the word or the noun that is being okay, Salaki, let me get it right. The words like in and the will always be together with the noun that is being used, that is being used with, or in conjunction with. That is in conjunction with. Salakia. All right. So your ba and your ha, words like in and the will always be attached to the physical noun in Hebrew that is in conjunction with. All right. Does everybody understand that? I'll say that one more time. Words like your in and your the will always be attached to the actual noun that it's in conjunction with. Right? So the and in is in conjunction with name. So in Hebrew, they're not separated. All right, they're not separated. In Hebrew, they're together. Bahashem. It's almost like it's one word. It's going to be spelled and written within one word. Okay? It's almost like it's written as if it's an entire word in itself, but it's actually not. Okay? Does everybody understand that? It's actually not. But, right, it may seem like that. It may seem like it's one whole word put together. But in actuality, they're separate words. But grammatically speaking, when writing the Hebrew, you're going to write them together as if they're one whole word. And there's other words just like that, and we're going to break it down in class tonight. We're going to use the first. We're going to go over these. All right. This is the grammar that we need to know. So your ba and your ha will be put together with the noun. It'll be attached to the noun in the front of the noun to be exact. It's going to always be in the front of the noun, never behind. You're not going to put any of these behind the noun. They're always going to be in front of the noun. In the name. Bahasham. Sham is the noun. In and the, right, are the prefixes being used in conjunction with the noun to let you know it's in and the. All right. So, all right. These are your grammatical prefixes. All right. And we're going to get them. They're grammatical prefixes. All right. We're going to write that on the board. Grammatical. All right. Grammatical. I don't know if it's a word, but we're going to use it a word today. Grammatical. Prefixes. Grammatical prefixes. So you have your grammatical prefixes, right? All right, or prefixes in the grammar. All right. In Hebrew, you have suffixes and you have prefixes. All right. Now, a prefix is something that goes in front of a word, while a suffix is something that goes at the end of the word. Okay. So a prefix is pre, like before, and suffix is at the end. All right. In the back of the word. So say it with me. All right. So a prefix is in the front, and then you have a suffix in the back. All right.
Yeah, Salaki. Grammatical is a word. It's a relating to grammar.
Sounds great. All right. Most High in Christ, the water for that. So grammatical is a word. All right. So grammatical prefixes. All right. You have your grammatical prefixes in the Hebrew. All right. The prefix it goes before, while suffix is at the end. Right. Today we're going to go over your grammatical prefixes, meaning the words that come in front of the noun, but they're attached to the noun. All right. Remember, prefixes in Hebrew will always be attached to the noun. So let's get it. You got ba. Which is your in. You got your ha. Which is your tha. You got your wa. Which is your and. So like it. So far we have your ba, your ha, and your wa. In the and. All right. You have your ka. Which is as or like. Okay. I'm gonna write it right here. Making similarities. Well, no. Yes. I guess the similes. What's the similes? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I have your ba, your ha, your wa, and your ka. So your ba is your in, your ha is your tha, your wa is your and, your ka is your as or like. Okay, as in making similes, all right? And you also have your sha. Make sure you guys put that into your notes. Bear with me 1 second. Then you have your sha. Let's get your sha. Which also means as. Actually, what we're going to do is get these on the board first, and then I'm going to add the rest later. All right. So you guys can see it. So we're going to focus on these right here. Okay, so you have your ba, your ha, your wa, and your ka. These are some of your grammatical prefixes. They're not all of them, because I'm going to get another set, things like 2 or 3 more, all right, for your grammatical prefixes to get you to have the understanding of what it is. So you have your ba, your ha, your wa, and your ka. All right. So your ba meaning in, your ha meaning the, your wa meaning and your ka meaning as or like, meaning making similes. So if I'm trying to make similarities, like, oh, this is like Superman, or this is like Chicago, even though it's not Chicago, this is like Chicago. You would say ka Chicago. All right, you would put the ka in front of the noun because remember it's a prefix and it would be attached to the actual word itself. Remember, prefixes are not detached from words. Prefixes are attached to words in Hebrew. All right, prefixes are attached to words. So grammatical prefixes in the Hebrew will always be attached in front of the word. Grammatical prefixes will always be attached in front of the word. I'll say it one more time. Grammatical prefixes in Hebrew will always be attached in front of the word. Don't put it anywhere else. All right. I shouldn't see a ba all the way back here, or a ha all the way back there, or a wa somewhere in left field, and a ka, not even on the goddamn board, right? It should be in front of the noun. Okay, in front of the noun. All right. So you got your ba, your ha, your wa, and your ka. Now remember, your grammatical prefixes will play a very big part in structuring sentences. This is going to be a part of you structuring your sentences and making sure they are structured properly. All right. You do not want to improperly structure sentences or words. All right. And this is going to help you read the Hebrew. Okay. All right. Let's get the next set. So remember, your ba is your in, your ha is your the, your wa is your and, your ka is as alike, meaning making similarities or similes. Okay. I believe simile and similarity should roughly mean the same thing. All right. I think I'm sure of it. Or the simile is the similarity. Something like that. All right. You got your sha. Which also means as or like. Got your sha. All right. You got your ya. Well, get that last. You got your ma. Which means from. Hold on. It does mean from. I want to get the proper wording for the second meaning of it. All right, bear with me. From. So let's write from right here. It can mean from. Also. Now I'm just going to say from because the prefix ma. Well, I guess it is part of the prefix. Okay, yeah. Stemming from as well. All right, stemming. All right, from. All right, you got ya, which means he. All right, and here's the next set of the prefixes. So you got sha, mine, ya. All right, sha, mine, ya. So your sha meaning as or like. All right, you got your ma meaning from, or if it's attached to another word as well, it can also mean stemming from, as in meaning you put the ma in front of a word to change the meaning of the word, but it's letting you know that this comes from this word. And I'm gonna give an example of what I mean. All right. So you have your ma. Your ma means from. Then you have your ya, which means he. But this is only used in conjunction with verbs only. All right. When you see a ya in front of a verb, all right, it means he, but verbs only. So if it says ya shamar, it's saying he watched. If it says ya amar, it's saying he said. All right. If it says ya halak, it's meaning he walked. All right. If it says yadabar, meaning he spoke. Okay. Yadabar, meaning he spoke. Ya, whatever the case may be. All right. So with that being said, this ya as a prefix means he, but only with verbs. All right. Verbs only. This is only prefixes for verbs. Everything else is noun related. So you have sha, which is as or like as well, like your ka. All right. Then you have your ma meaning from, and we'll break down the stemming from. Okay. Does everybody get the gist? All right. Does everybody understand? Remember, your sha meaning as or like. Another way to compare something. All right. To compare something. You're really using this to make comparison. All right. And making some form of simile or similarity, just like your ka. It doesn't really matter if you use your ka or your sha. All right. It will still be understood. All right. It will still be understood like your shemaya. All right. Your shemaya. Or it's like your shemayim is actually like a word. All right. Meaning heaven. All right. Y'all get it? So your sha is your as or your like. Your ma is your from. Your ya is your verbs only. All right. Make sure y'all put this into your notes. If you guys have any questions, make sure you guys put it into the live chat for me, so I'll be able to answer your questions. Any questions? Does everybody understand so far? Let me know if you guys understand the grammatical prefixes. Let me know if I lost anybody. Okay, Most High in Christ. So you're following? Okay, anybody else? All right, one brother saying he's following. Anybody else? It's like a soldier. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I'm trying to get the scripture right now. I have a question on this.
Oh, you too out, soldier. You too out. You you can say that for later.
I'll say that for later.
Okay. All right. So one brother's following. Okay, everything's too out. Hey, Bubba Kushai, y'all take a seat for me, all right? All right, here we go. I'm going to take this off the board. Well, I'm going to take some of it off the board. I'm going to leave up the ma because I'm going to break that down for you. So I'm going to give you an example for ma on what I'm referring to. Okay? So you have your ma. Your ma meaning from or stemming from. So here's the difference between from and stemming from. So let's say you want to say, for an example, I'm from this city, right? So your ma comes from your word mayan. Let's break down the history of it. All right, your ma comes from the word mayan. All right, your word ma comes from the word mayan, which literally means from. All right, mayan literally means from. Okay, so your mayan, if you wanted to use the full word mayan, it would mean from. But if you did not want to use, but let's say you did not want to use the full word mayan, all right, you would use ma instead. You would just say ma and use it as a prefix in conjunction with a word. So instead of saying, let's say, for an example, let's say, okay, I'm gonna erase this I'm gonna erase that real quick, and I'm gonna put up a little higher. All right, I'm gonna put up a little higher and give examples. All right. So let's say, okay, I already said stemming from. All right, stemming from. All right, from equals ma. All right, there you go. So stemming from. So you have your stemming from, which literally means from. All right, your ma means from or stemming from. Okay, this is one of your grammatically prefixes being broken down. Okay, so for an example, let's say you wanted to say, we're going to write a sentence. We're going to say, I am, let's say, I am from, let's say, this city. I am from this city. All right. So you could, now remember, Hebrew's written from right to left. So the same thing that I'm writing here, I'm gonna write right underneath, just in the opposite direction. All right. So remember, Hebrew is written from right to left, while English is written from left to right. So I'm going to write this very same thing, all right, but in the Hebrew, all right. So I'm gonna say, and I'm writing the English for you. Well, actually, you know what? To make it fair, I'm not going to write it in this format. I'm gonna write it in the English format. So let's say Anya. So let's say we want to say Anya. All right, Anya. This is Hebrew. Anya Mayan. All right, Mayan Za Za. All right. I didn't follow the pattern there. So like it. Za. All right. Za. Then Ayar. Okay. So what we have here are those parentheses might confuse you. All right. Let's start over. I don't want to confuse nobody. All right. I want less confusion as possible. So I'm gonna do this instead. Anya. Anya. Mayan. Mayan. Za. Mayanza. Mayanza Ayar. All right. Ayar. So what we have on the board so far, your I am is your Anya, right? Anya meaning I am. All right, you got your from. Okay, now this is just like this is not how you would actually write the sentence, by the way. Before I go any further, it's actually missing something, and I'm gonna add it later. All right, I'm gonna add it later, but this is actually missing something. All right, but for teaching purposes, I kind of want to show you how to use the word mayan, or you can use yama instead, right? So you have anya, which is I, which means I am. Then you have mayan, right, meaning from, right? Yamayan meaning from. Then you have this, meaning za, meaning this. Za means this, right? And then ayar meaning city. So ayan mayan za ayar, meaning I am from this city. So ayan mayan za ayar, you're literally saying I am from this city, all right? So if you want to say I am from this city, all right, you would just, well, in this case, you would say Anya Mayan Zayar. All right, Anyan. It's like Anya Mayan Zayar. Right, I am from this city. It would really be Anya Hawaya Mayan Zayar. Okay, but I would get rid of the Mayan and I would say, and I would get rid of the Anya and I would just say Hawaya. It's like a Hawaya Mazayar. But we're about to get there. You're about to see how grammar is your best friend. Okay, grammatical prefixes and grammar is about to be your best friend. All right, yeah, I'm gonna slow it down for you guys just now. So real quick, this is why grammar would be your best friend. So now this says Anya Mayan Zayar. So this says Anya Mayan Zayar. All right, this says Anya Mayan Zayar. Okay, it says that Anya Mayan Zayar. It says Anya Mayan Zayar. So now, all right, if the proper way of saying this sentence would be Anya Hawaya Mayan Zayar. All right, and I'm gonna just write that down here. All right, I'm gonna put this in. This is what I'm gonna do because I am. That's still that. Then I will put this right here. Hawaya, which is a verb. All right. So the proper way to write this sentence or even say this sentence, instead of saying Anya Mayan Zayar, all right, instead of saying Anya Mayan Zayar, all right, you would actually say Anya Hawaya Mayan Zayar. So now you guys see how that's very long, right? That's a very long thing to say, right? You have Anya Hawaya Mayan Zayar. Anya Hawaya Mayan Zayar, right? Anya Hawaya Mayan Zayar, meaning I am from this city. In reality, it will say I be from this city. If you just get rid of that I am, because this means Anya meaning I or I am, by the way. But in this case, we're going to say I. All right. I be from this city. All right. All right. You would have to write this sentence just like this. I be from this city. You would use this verb right here. This is like a throwaway up. This is like a toss-up verb. Right? This is like a toss-up verb in some cases to where if needed, if you need a verb in the sentence to make the sentence make sense, you just put the verb haya or hawiya, all right, depending on the subject pronoun, which we're going to get into, or let's just focus on face value right now. All right, so you have anya hawiya mayan zayar, anya hawiya mayan zayar, all right, meaning I be from this city. So if you say I be from this city, or I'm from this city, Chicago, I'm from this city, New York, you would say Anya Hawayama Yanzai Yar New York. Or you would say Anya Hawayama Yanzai Yar Chicago. Or you would say Anya Hawayama Yanzai Yar Chester. Or Anya Hawayama Yanzai Yar Richmond. Or Anya Hawayama Yanzai Yar Portsmouth. Anya Hawayama Yanzai Yar Petersburg. Y'all get the point, right? You would say Anya Hawayama Yanzai Yar. All right, Anya Hawayama Yanzai Yar. Meaning I be from this city. Whatever city you're from, you say, hey, I'm from this city. All right. Anya Hawaya Mayan Zayar. But now, I keep saying it over and over again because it's repetitive. And then two, I want y'all to hear how long it is. Anya Hawaya Mayan Zayar. These are all different words. Anya Hawaya Mayan Zayar. Anya Mayan it's like here. Anya Hawaya Mayan Ayar. Now, this is where your ma comes into place. Now, instead of saying Mayan, you know what you can do? You can get rid of the Mayan. Let's get rid of the Mayan and the Za. And what we're going to do, and let's get rid of these parentheses. We're going to say B. All right. I B. Parentheses. All right. Ma. Parentheses. Za. All right. What's the like? I'm gonna put those parentheses there so you guys can see how they're connected and not separated. All right. So ma za. So ma za. Hadaza adala and ainaga babu kusha. Take a seat. Babu kusha. So you have maza ayar. So you have anya hawaya maza ayar. Now that sounds easier to say, right? But you're still saying I be from this city, but that from is now your ma and is connected to this, meaning za. So maza, mazaya. So you would say Anya Hawaya Mazaya. So Anya Hawaya Mazaya. So instead of saying Anya Hawaya Mayan Zayar, now you could say Maza. Instead of saying Mayanza, now you could say Maza. You guys are you guys following? So Anya Hawaya Maza Ayar. You're saying the same thing, but now it's shorter. I'll even give you one better. All right, I want y'all to focus. All right. Let's get rid of the Anya. All right, and we're going to get rid of that B real quick. All right. Here we go. So we're going to write that I, parentheses, B. And we're just going to say Hawaya. Now your sentence is even shorter. Your sentences are getting shorter, but it means the same thing, right? It means the very same thing, but now it's all you're saying is Hawaya Mazaya. Do you guys see how it got smaller and smaller and smaller? Grammar can be your best friend. This is still saying, I am from this city. I be from this city, or I am from this city, is saying the very same thing. But you see this verb, to be, meaning Hawaya, this is your to be. This is your I am and to be put together because you don't need the Anya. The Anya is already implied because this is conjugated based off of your subject pronoun I and I am, by the way. If you guys remember from last week's class, I broke that down just a tiny bit, right? We got introduced into the present tense slightly, did we not? So if you guys paid attention from last week or remember from last week, this is conjugated based off of your subject pronoun. All right. So now you have Hawaya, which means I am, or I be. Hawaya. Then you have your from, which is your ma, and then you have your this, which is your za. This is a prefix, so it's attached to the word. So you put it together, maza, meaning from this, then ayar, meaning city. So if I say Hawaya maza ayar, I'm still saying I be from this city or I'm from this city. All right. Is everybody following? All right. Let me know if I confuse anyone before I take it off the board in a little bit. But does everybody understand? Let me know if I need to repeat anything, and I will. Is everybody following so far? Does everybody understand? Let me know. Let me know. Yoladium, Hadazan. Quiet down a little bit, all right?
So, if I could, how do you say
Okay, Most High in Christ, you following. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Is anybody else confused? Right. I'm gonna break it down one more time. Right. And if anyone's coming into class, Salaki, that's fine too. So this is how you use your prefix ma, meaning from, and this is where you say this the stemming from, or this is not the stemming from part, Salakia. We're just getting the from part. So you have Hawiya Maza Ayar. Hawiya Maza Ayar, meaning I be from this city. Now, it doesn't have to say I'm from this city. You can use anything. You can say Hawiya Maza Jersey City. You can say Hawiya Maza Portsmouth. Like this could be substituted for an actual city. Oh, okay. No sweat, soldier. If you got to rewatch the class, most definitely rewatch the class. And that's a good thing too. Always rewatch these classes. All right. Never don't just say, dang, I didn't understand. So, I guess that's it. Always rewatch a class. Always ask questions in the next class. Take a bunch of notes. I have tons of Hebrew classes on this page. Look for them and find them, and you'll just learn a whole bunch of stuff. All right. This might be okay. This is not my first time teaching this. Of course, this is not my first time teaching this. But what I want to say is, this is my first time focusing on grammatical prefixes. Okay. So I'm gonna make a what they call those things on YouTube. What those things on YouTube called again? Damn. And that's my department, right? What's the thing called? A play? Is it a playlist? I'm gonna make a playlist. I'm gonna make a playlist of things. All right. I think I had one. I'm gonna make a playlist of the Hebrew, and I'm gonna specifically like add folders to it. So you got grammatical prefixes Hebrew, because a lot of those playlists. You know what? That's very smart. Playlists are a very good thing to use. All right, because I believe it focuses on something that someone is looking for. All right, at times. So if you're looking for grammar Hebrew, then that playlist is going to pop up. If you're looking for the breakdown of John 3:16, and you have a playlist of John 3:16, God so loved the world, that will pop up and things like that. So I'll make a playlist of certain Hebrew classes, so it's just easier for you guys to find and just rewatch them. So you're not scroll, just to make it easier, right? All right. I won't let you guys go through what I had to go through when I first came in the truth, and I'm searching hundreds and hundreds of videos just to learn the Hebrew. I remember when I was first coming into the truth, y'all, and I was searching hundreds of videos of the truth, man, of just how to learn the Hebrew. I was searching video after video after video. And what I mean, I was searching Akim, and I was searching Agwafian. I think I stumbled across a video from General Kabbalah Maf, like from damn near 2006, teaching in the Baltimore school. I don't know. I forgot what it was. I remember I seen General Kabbalah Maf teaching a Hebrew class. All right. I was like, well, damn. You know what I'm saying? But this was some time ago, of course. But I was just searching through a whole bunch of videos just to learn the Hebrew. And, there's nothing wrong if you have that type of spirit too. But, of course, I'm going to go ahead and make a playlist, all right? A playlist would definitely, okay, Most High in Christ. No sweat out. I'm going to definitely make that playlist, all right? I'm going to make that playlist for sure. But now let's get the stemming from part, all right? We're going to get the stemming from part. All right, we're gonna learn how to use the stemming from. All right. So now we're going to get the stemming from. So I'm gonna take this off the board. And I'm gonna continue on. Now remember, Hawaya Mazai Yar, meaning I be from this city. All right. Okay, and that's a present tense, right? Verb to be in the present tense, Hawaya. All right, Hawaya. All right. It's like it, Hawaya. Hawaya Mazai Yar. Salakia. Yaladi. Yaladi. Enough. You understand? Everybody quiet down. You understand? All right. All right now. As long as you understand. All right. So now we're going to get the stemming from part. Now we're going to focus on the stemming from. So let's say you have a word called rakab. So you have rakab. Should I use rakab? Hold on. Give me a second. I think rakab is a good one to use. All right. Rakab means car and chariot, or like a vehicle. Yeah, my car, which is food. Is there a better one that you guys would know? Is there a better one that you guys would know? That you guys may have heard? All right, we're going to stick with this one, rakab. I'm just going to stick on rakab, all right? So you have rakab, all right? You have your rakab. Ra, ka, ba, right? Which is rakab. Rakab. All right, we're going to say rakab means car, okay? Or chariot. All right, chariot. All right. A chariot is like a something that can be driven. All right. A chariot is something that you can drive with. All right. All right. So when you use the word rakab, it's really, you know what? Salakia. I skipped ahead. That's not rakab. Does not mean car or chariot. Salakia. I want you to erase that from your memory. All right. Erase rakab meaning car and chariot. Okay. Salakia. Rakab means to drive or to ride. It's a verb, salakia. All right? To ride. I skipped ahead in the lesson, salakia. All right, salakia about that. All right, my mistake. And let me be a little neater with that to ride. All right. So to ride. All right, to ride. So you have to ride. So rakab meaning to ride. So rakab is a verb. Okay? Rakab is a verb meaning to ride. Okay. So now keep that in memory. Keep this. I want you to memorize this. Rakab. Rakab meaning to ride. Meaning riding on a horse, riding a vehicle, riding a chariot, riding a car. Rakab meaning to ride. So if I wanted to say I'm riding a horse, I would say I am rakab, a horse. All right, you wouldn't technically just say rakab. Of course, you would conjugate it and say rubakab. But at face value, you would substitute the English to drive or to ride for rakab. So let's say I'm riding the bus, you would say rakab for riding. If you say I'm riding a horse, you would say rakab for riding. If you say I'm riding the train, you would say rakab for riding. And etc., 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 rakab meaning to ride. It's a verb. Now, here we go. We're going to get marakab. We're going to get marakab. Marakab. Here we go. So we're going to get ra, kab. Marakab. Now, marakab means car or chariot. So marakab meaning car or chariot. So now, let's focus on this ma. Let's focus on that ma right there. That ma plays a very important role. So that ma right there plays a very important role. So have your marakab, okay, marakab, meaning car chariot. So you have rakab, that means to ride. Then you have marakab, meaning car and chariot. So now, why does it just sound like all I did was put a ma in front of the verb rakab? Because that's exactly what I did. All I did was put a ma in front of the rakab, and it completely changed the word. All right? Marakab means car and chariot. It does. While rakab itself means to ride. That ma in front of this rakab is letting you know that this word stems from rakab. All right? That ma lets you know that it stems from rakab. That ma allows you to know that this word stems from rakab. That's why the rakab is still in the word, and all I did was put a ma in front of it to make it car chariot. Okay, so rakab meaning to drive or to ride. All right. Marakab itself is now a noun meaning car chariot. So I turned this verb into a noun. All right, I just made that verb into a noun. Does everybody understand? Now is everybody tracking now when it comes to that? I completely changed that verb into a noun by adding a ma in front of the rakab, which changed the word, which it changed the entire context of it. So marakab. So if I wanted to say I'm riding in the car, I would say rakab ba marakab. I'm riding in the car, or it's like a baha marakab. All right. I'll get that example on the board too for teaching purposes too. All right, to put everything in use. That what we just learned. Are we gonna put that into use? Is everybody tracking so far? Is everybody tracking so far? Let me know. All right. So that's what is that ma in front of that ma in front of that rakab is letting you know that it's stemming, right? It's stemming from the word rakab. All right. Does everybody understand that? Most High in Christ. Everyone else is tracking too as well. Then, or let me know if not. It's no sweat. I'll definitely I'll definitely go over it and break it down one more time. All right. Gotta get some more medicine and some tea. All right. So let's continue. So now we're going to put everything into practical use, into practice. All right. So let's make a sentence. I'm riding in the car. All right. So everything we learned, we're going to put it into practice. All right. When it comes to grammatical prefixes and also with the present tense. All right. We're going to put everything into good use. So we're going to say, I'm riding in the car. All right. Oh, that made it dark. It's a lock here. Adela, come here. Come here. Adela, come here. All right, Salaki. So let's put everything into good use. So you have Anya. All right. You have Anya. All right. Rawakab. Well, that's two. Anya. Rawakab. Anya, Rawakab, Marakab. Marakab. So like it.
A stick in my mouth. No, sticks go on outside. Oh.
Yep. I gotta move it over just a little bit. So I want to be able to fit it all, but I want to make sure it's also seen. All right. So just bear with me, because I want to put it on the board.
I don't need the business. I don't have business.
All right. So you have these words right here. All right. All right. So you have Anya, Rawakab, Bahamarakab. All right. So you know this means I or I am. This means to ride. This means in. This means the. This means car. All right. Does everybody see that on the board? So Anya Rawaka Baham Marakab. All right. So Anya Marakab. That's like it. Anya Rawaka Baham Marakab. Meaning, all right. Which in a nutshell, this is saying I am writing. Okay. I am writing. Let me see to make sure I'm not on that glare. All right. I am writing. In the car. So that's what we have on the board. Anya Rawaka Baha Mavaka. I am riding in the car. And that's everything being used in practical use. All right. So Anya Rawaka Baha Mavaka. All right. That Anya meaning I am. That Rawaka meaning to ride. That Baha meaning in the. All right. In the. That Ba meaning in. That Ha meaning the. Then Mavaka meaning call. So this is all what we did throughout the beginning of class towards the end of class. This is how you properly use grammatical prefixes to structure sentences. Anya Rawaka Bahamavaka. Anya Rawaka Bahamavaka. Right? Sounds a little repetitive, right? But this is how you structure sentences. All right? Anya Rawaka Bahamavaka. Anya Rawaka Bahamavaka. Right? So Anya Rawaka Bahamavaka. All right. All right. All right. Anybody? Does everybody understand? Does everybody see what's on the board and understand what's on the board? Anya Rabakab Bahamavakab. All right. Everybody tracking? Anybody confused on what's on the board? Let me know. Most High in Christ. All right. Anybody else? Is everybody following and tracking? Anybody else? Don't forget to put your name, city, and state for attendance so you can get credit towards class. All right. Don't forget. All right. Anybody else has any questions? Anybody with any questions? Kanala, or yes or no? If not, we'll move on. We'll move on with class. La. All right. So with that, Israel. All right. Remember, all right, this is grammatical prefixes. You want to remember your grammatical prefixes. All right, they can come in handy. They'll make your sentence structuring very easy. It'll simplify a lot of things and make things a lot smaller, less than having a bunch of words and making the sentence very long. It would allow you to shorten some sentences. All right. So don't forget about your grammatical prefixes. Grammatical prefixes are very, very important when it comes to learning the language and structuring your sentences. All right. Next week we'll most likely get into a little bit more into the present tense here and there, and we'll probably add a little bit more grammar to what needs to be added to our sentence structuring. All right. So let's get it. So with that, Israel, I say shalom. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yashar B'Kathum to the brothers, and shalom Yahweh Shamar Lathan Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah to the sisters. All right. Shalom.